It's the appointed time. We have a quorum. I call to order the meeting today. Item 1 on the agenda. Briefing by the Secretary for Commerce and Economic Development, the Secretary for Innovation, Technology and Industry, and the Secretary for Constitutional and Mainland Affairs on the Chief Executive's 2025 Policy Address. We will be briefed primarily by the Secretary for Commerce and Economic Development, the Secretary for Innovation, Technology and Industry, and the Secretary for Constitutional and Mainland Affairs. We will first invite the officials to join us. Welcome, everyone. First, I give the floor to Mr. Algernon Yao, the Secretary for Commerce and Economic Development, followed by Professor Sun Dong, Secretary for Innovation, Technology and Industry. Finally, Mr. Eric Zhang, Secretary for Constitution and Mainland Affairs, will brief us, but we will first let them settle down. Afterwards, I will invite members to press the request to speak button, and then I will open the floor for questions from members. So we will go in the order I just mentioned. We will start with Mr. Algernon Yao. Chairman, members. The Chief Executive proposed a raft of measures in his 2025 policy address. Those measures will better leverage Hong Kong's strengths under one country, two systems, and with the support from our country and our global connections, we will explore new growth areas. Given the evolving global landscape and uncertainty, we will play our role as the super value adder and super connector. We will integrate into national development. We will tap new markets overseas. That's to create new impetus for our growth so that we can achieve high-quality economic growth. I will highlight the measures under the commerce and economic development. These measures include those that will strengthen our status as an international financial center, our role in the Belt and Road Initiative, support for small and medium enterprises, support for our development as an e-commerce center, as well as measures in other areas. On helping mainland enterprises to go global, we will bring together our overseas offices, including those under the Economic and Trade Offices, the offices under the Trade and Development Council, and those under Invest Hong Kong. We will bring these offices together in helping mainland businesses go global. I will be steering this Go Global task force. We will come up with different ways, different strategies of going global. By the end of next year, we will be starting the discussions about our work plan, and we will also do large-scale publicity campaigns on attracting businesses and investments. The Financial Secretary will lead different bureaus, departments, and public organizations in formulating packages of preferential policies covering land grants, concessions in land premiums, subsidies, and tax breaks. Invest Hong Kong will be able to use those policy packages in a flexible way as it talks to businesses on settlement details, and then the Financial Secretary will be briefed by Invest Hong Kong and make the final decision. Invest Hong Kong will bring in high value-added industries and high potential industries. We will bring them to the northern metropolis so that they can achieve greater results for Hong Kong's economic development. On expanding our international economic and trade networks, our Economic and Trade Office in Kuala Lumpur will open in a phased way by the end of next year. We will also expand our coverage of ETOs in ASEAN. We will expand our network of ETOs to more promising markets. We will deepen our economic and trade cooperation with the mainland. The amendment agreement to CEPA took effect on the 1st of March this year. Over the past few months, we worked with trade associations and business chambers. We briefed them on the amendment. We also held briefing sessions. We will continue to seek further liberalization measures with the mainland. We will build on CEPA. We will launch more measures to foster closer economic collaboration with the mainland. On the Belt and Road Initiative, the 10th Belt and Road Summit was held on the 10th and 11th of September. We attracted participants from around the world. We will organize delegations to Belt and Road countries for visits. We will do road shows. We will coordinate our public institutions to offer training. We will provide business connection matching. On strengthening support for SMEs, the government will extend the application period for the 80% guaranteed product under the SFGS by 2 years. We will also extend the principal moratorium for 1 year. This is to help SMEs seize the opportunities during economic recovery. There will be further measures to help SMEs tap new markets. There will be an additional $1.43 billion going into the Bud Fund. We will cover more areas under the Bud Fund, and that means covering an extra 8 economies. Easy Bud will also help businesses in tapping outside markets. On e-commerce, an extra logistics service provider will be covered under the pilot scheme. In the next 3 years, we will continue to organize the Hong Kong Shopping Festival. There will be e-commerce referral and business matching. We will also set up Economic and Trade Express. We will bring together ETOs, Invest Hong Kong, and the HKTDC. This will be a functional platform to achieve synergy. We will help local SMEs to go on business visits overseas to tap new opportunities. Economic and Trade Express will also engage in more business promotion overseas. We also support our export sector in tapping overseas business markets. To help our local exporters, the Hong Kong Export Credit Insurance Corporation will expand support for financing on different platforms. The HKACIC will also expand the coverage of free buyer credit check. That will cover all the markets insured by the HKACIC. This will help exporters tap new markets. On Hong Kong as a regional intellectual property trading center, the government will support IP financing. We will work with stakeholders on many measures. This will foster the use of IP in financing for IP-based firms. We will enhance the IP ecosystem. There will be an IP financing sandbox. This will mean valuation of IP. We will also promote IP financing in the Business of IP Asia Forum 2025. There will be training for the banking sector in IP financing. These measures have to do with each other. They go hand in hand in supporting the commercialization of IP rights. We're also exploring tax deductions for IP rights so that we can promote the development of IP-intensive industries. On going electronic for trade documents, we are moving full steam ahead with Phase 3 for the trade single window. We're working on the information technology system. The system will come on stream next year. We're looking to expand the existing single submission for dual circulation scheme to cover more trade documents. Last week in Kuala Lumpur, I confirmed with ASEAN a pilot scheme. we can exchange electronic certificates of origin with ASEAN via the single window to enhance trade and customs clearance. The government is also looking at the model law on electronic transferable records. We will look into legislative amendments so that we can create the legal basis for going digital with business-to-business trade documents. This will make it easier for industries to go digital. That's all from me for my opening remarks. I will be happy to take questions. Now over to Professor Sun Dong. Chairman. Good afternoon, Chairman and members. I'm glad to be here at this policy address briefing. Innovation and technology can foster economic growth, create quality jobs, and improve people's quality of life. The 2025 policy address proposes a range of measures to foster Hong Kong's I&T development. I will highlight these measures on enhancing the IT ecosystem, new industrialization, and enlarging the I&T talent pool, as well as fresh impetus for development. We seek to enhance the strategic layout of I&T. At the upstream, midstream, and downstream levels, there will be 2 pilot production lines of the MRDI. This will come on stream. We will also be working on the Life and Health Technology Research Institute. We will also move faster with the 3rd Inno-HK research cluster. We will focus on new energy, advanced manufacturing. All these different institutes will be coming on stream starting from the first half of 2026. On new industrialization, we take this scenario-based approach. We will bring in leading tech firms such as the Hangzhou 6 Little Dragons. We will also lower the application threshold for the new industrialization acceleration scheme. The threshold will go down from $300 million to $150 million. There will be funding on a matching basis for the employment of technical personnel. We will also launch the Innovation and Technology Industry-Oriented Funds from 2026 to 27. We signed a cooperation agreement on the development of new quality productive forces and the promotion of new industrialization with the Ministry of Industry and Information Technology last year. On I&T land, this year we will announce the conceptual outline of the development plan for the I&T industry in the Sentient Technopool. This will cover top-level planning, industry positioning, layout, and coordinated development of land parcel. For Sandy Ridge, we will launch 10 hectares of land. The land will be put up for tender. On support for technology, we will use the Innovation and Technology Fund to bring in BrainCo. That firm focuses on prostheses. That will mean fully subsidized access to prostheses. We will also integrate international development and strengthen Hong Kong's internationalized edge. We will move full steam ahead with the Hong Kong Park in the Hetao Shenzhen Hong Kong I&T zone. Now, the first 3 buildings are finished. The firms are moving in. Within this year, the park will become operational. We've also set up a task force for which is the Interdepartmental Vetting Coordination Task Force for the Hong Kong Park. The Hong Kong Shenzhen I&T Park Limited also started its last work. We are taking this approach where the construction and moving in happen at the same time. The corporation is also looking to complete the planning for the development scale distribution of industries of Phase 2 development. On international exchanges and cooperation, the government will support local universities and professional bodies in holding international academic and professional conferences. We will also be focusing on publication in academic journals as we seek international collaboration in I&T. We will take various measures to turn Hong Kong into an international I&T hub. That's all for my presentation. I welcome questions from members. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, Professor Sun. Next, we have Mr. Eric Zhang, Secretary for Constitutional and Mainland Affairs. On the 17th of September, the Chief Executive delivered his 4th policy address. In this meeting, I will brief members on the policy initiatives of the CMAB in the Chief Executive Policy Address in relation to the development of the Greater Bay Area and regional cooperation with the mainland. The theme of this year's policy address is to build a future together. The chief executive says that this year's policy addresses a step towards prosperity from stability, and this is how we can achieve a breakthrough. The SAR government will, under the unique advantages of one country, two system, integrate into the overall national development and actively dovetail with key national strategies. We will strengthen regional cooperation with the mainland. While constantly creating strong impetus for growth for Hong Kong, we will also contribute to high-quality development and high-level opening up of our country. The development of the Greater Bay Area is a key national strategy personally devised, personally planned, and personally driven by President Xi Jinping. It is a key support for promoting regional integration and driving the high-quality development of the country. The SAR government will anchor itself to the new strategic position put forward by President Xi. Over the past few years, with the staunch support of the country, the SAR and other cities in the Greater Bay Area are working closely to continuously foster a high level of connectivity and market integration and cultivate a more favorable investment and business environment. We are striving to achieve a world-class Greater Bay Area. We will continue to complement with other cities under the Greater Bay Area to promote high-level and high-quality connection. We will continue to forge closer convergence with the rules and mechanisms between Guangdong, Hong Kong, and Macau to enable the efficient flow of key factors of production. The SAR government will actively work with mainland authorities, say for example, Macau and Guangdong government, to forge convergence of rules and mechanisms, enable efficient flow of key factors of production, including people, goods, data, and capital within the Greater Bay Area, seeking more policy breakthroughs that will benefit Hong Kong and foster integrated development of the Greater Bay Area, thereby continuing to further deepen the reform and high-level opening up of the country. The SAR government will actively cultivate and develop local new quality productive forces and foster a new high-quality development paradigm led by innovation and technology. We will strengthen the commercialization of scientific research outcomes, promote new industrialization, and provide comprehensive support for startups. We will play a role as a platform for mainland enterprises to go global. We will continue to tell good stories of the Greater Bay Area to promote the opportunities that are available. We will play a role as super connector and super value adder and give full play to our role as a platform of bringing in and going global. Now, on a regional cooperation with the mainland. Currently, Hong Kong has established 10 regional cooperation mechanisms with Beijing, Shanghai, Guangdong, Shenzhen, Fujian, Sichuan, Hubei, Chongqing, Zhejiang, and the Pearl River Delta region, with a view to comprehensively deepening cooperation in different areas, including finance, economy and trade, innovation, technology, transportation, healthcare, culture, tourism, and education, etc. In April 2025, the Chief Executive and the Secretary of the Zhejiang Provincial Committee of the Communist Party of China, Mr. Wang Hao, leading the delegations of the government of the SAR and Zhejiang respectively, attended the high-level meeting come first plenary session of the Hong Kong-Zhejiang Cooperation Conference in Hangzhou. We signed a memorandum of cooperation and reached consensus on 13 cooperation areas and 4 cooperation agreements. We will continue to implement more projects under the cooperation mechanism. We will continue to deepen cooperation with various mainland provinces and municipalities by launching more initiatives. There are 5 offices and 11 liaison units of the SAR government in the mainland. The mainland offices will continue to strengthen the connection and communications with the mainland authorities at central, provincial, and municipal levels and deepen cooperation through organizing visits to mainland authorities and bodies, attending activities and speaking occasions, conducting media interviews, so on and so forth. The mainland offices will cooperate with the task force on supporting mainland enterprises in going global and the task force on study in Hong Kong, led respectively by the Commerce and Economic Development Bureau and the Education Bureau, to encourage mainland enterprises to use Hong Kong in expanding their business overseas and to step up promotion of higher education in Hong Kong and the mainland, with a view to attracting more teaching and research talents and students to study in Hong Kong. That's it for my presentation. My colleagues and I will be happy to take questions from the members. Now is the time for Q&A. Would members who would like to put questions, please press the request to speak button. There are 12 members who have pressed the button. They are Yu Pak Lan, Sunny Tan, Johnny Ng, Martin Liu, Tan Yuehen, Priscilla Leung, Robert Lee, Shang Hailong, Wendy Hong, Lam San Kun, Xiu Ka-fei, and William Wong. 12 members altogether. Each of them will have 4 minutes. First, Mr. Yu Pak Lan. Thank you, Chairman. I have questions for the CEDB. As we all know, after the COVID, the exhibition and conference sector has been recovering. That's because of a scheme, an incentive scheme rolled out by the CEDB for the trade. That's why the sector has been recovering quite ideally. However, we hope to see more business travelers coming to Hong Kong. So after this exhibition and conference subsidy scheme 2.0, will there be other measures to support the recovery of the exhibition and conference sector? Second, I have a question for the ITIB. The tourism industry is a traditional sector. We want to leverage on IT to upgrade and transform. There are many ways where we can use IT in tourism, say for example, big data, virtual reality, so on and so forth. There are many use cases for innovation and technology in the tourism sector. We are now focusing on VR and AR, but for other areas, we're still lagging behind. So I wonder if the ITIB has any measures to assist the tourism sector to make use of IT to upgrade and transform. Do you have any resources to help us adapt to IT? Thank you. Secretary Yao, please. Thank you. The exhibition and conference sector, MICE sectors, contributes to Hong Kong's economy. The overnight visitors spend about $8,000 per day in Hong Kong. So under the incentive scheme for recurrent exhibitions, as set 30th of June this year, we spent $1.2 billion and organized 220 eligible exhibitions. The scheme ended on the 30th of June, and we have a 2.0 scheme where the government injected $500 million. By the scheme 2.0, we want to attract more overnight visitors that cover exhibitors and buyers that amount to for exhibitions that can attract over 1,500 exhibitors and buyers, they can apply for the scheme and they can get a subsidy of as high as $10 million. We see a good recovery progress for the conference and exhibition sector. The booking of the Asia World Expo is good, so we extend the locations to the West Kowloon and waterfront under the scheme. So we welcome more applications for the scheme so that we can see more exhibitions in other places. This new scheme 2.0 will not be implemented was not implemented until 1st of July this year, and we still need time to review the progress. We'll keep in view the application status. We're going to expand our venues. The Asia World Expo will see its expansion completed in 2028. There will be 33,600 square meters in space, and that's a 50% increase in the area. In Wan Chai North, we're going to have the second phase of the Hong Kong CEC. After completion, the exhibition venue will see an increase of space by 40%. This is to attract more exhibitions to be hosted there. Apart from exhibitions, we also have mega events that will attract business visitors. Say, for example, the Belt and Road Summit, we saw 6,200 visitors from 90 countries. There were 100 enterprises attending the summit. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Yao. Professor Sun, please. Regarding the smart tourism initiative mentioned by Mr. Yu, the SR government fully supports it. The ITIB is a policy bureau. We do have policies on promoting the use of INT. We're willing to work with various policy bureaus and the tourism sector. 2 years ago, we rolled out a digital transformation scheme that covered retail and catering and personal service as well as tourism. Hopefully, through digital technology, we help these sectors to transform and upgrade. In this year's policy address, apart from the 4 areas that we mentioned, we strive to include AI application of big data under the Digital Transformation Support Program. We believe that all these will help the trade. Next year, we'll roll out the INT-oriented fund. There will be 4 fields covered, including new industries. So what are these 4 industries? They could be digital entertainment. Regarding VR technology, animations for promotion of the tourism industries, all these are good ideas. We are ready to support them. We try to introduce overseas enterprises to create new use cases for innovation and technology. Mr. Sunny Tang, thank you. I thank the Chief Executive for covering this topic of helping mainland enterprises going global in the policy address. This Go Global Task Force has been established, and this is a good way for us to create more opportunities for the service sector. For us to help mainland enterprises to go global, they have to come to Hong Kong first. I went to a conference in Xiamen. That's a conference themed on BRICS country. So I wonder how the government will work with our business sector so that we can attend summits on the mainland. By this, we'll be able to bring appropriate mainland enterprises to come to Hong Kong. These events may take place on the mainland. So I wonder how we can attend these summits and conferences. As long as they've come, we can offer all the service that they need. Second, I have a question for the ITIB on the new industrialization acceleration scheme. The 2 pilot lines will be established. They are about production, I believe. So I wonder if the administration will support prototype facilities. Thank you.
局長。
Mr. Algernon Yao. Thank you, Chairman. I thank Mr. Sunny Tan for his questions. On the Go Global Task Force, this was covered by the policy address. We will start the work of the task force. We will set the goals and lay down the way the task force will work. This work involves not just the HKSL government. We also work closely with the Ministry of Commerce and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. We just held a meeting with the Ministry of Commerce on coordinating the work of the task force. We have to first find out which companies can go global. The Ministry of Commerce has some ideas, so we will work closely with the Ministry of Commerce. Those mainland businesses will leverage Hong Kong's strengths in financing and professional services. At this stage, we don't have a specific proposal yet. We still have to do a meeting. And then we will have an idea of what kind of businesses are in demand in ASEAN or in other overseas markets. We have 68 officers covering 129 countries. Those are officers involved, including our ETOs, our Invest Hong Kong, and HKTDC. First, we have to find out what those overseas markets need. I just went to this meeting in Malaysia. We discussed the same issue. We have to first find out the demand of those overseas regions and whether the mainland businesses have what it takes to go global. So you have to take it one step at a time. Coordination with the mainland matters. So we need coordination instead of everyone doing their own thing. So we want those mainland firms to come here as a platform before they go global. Thank you. Dr. Johnny, sorry. I support the measures under the policy address on the Go Global Task Force. My question is, we will have this one-stop portal. Will we use the same platform or have another platform to help overseas firms go to the mainland so that we can truly bring in outside firms and help mainland firms go global? We will share information on these platforms. We will also provide more professional services for mainland firms so that we can bring in outside firms and investment. The global landscape is complicated. We have these erroneous and unjustified tariffs from the US. Hong Kong is affected. So my question is, how will the Hong Kong SCL government help our companies? What new measures will there be to help our industries, not just with the conventional market, but also with the emerging market? Secretary, I thank Dr. Ng for his questions. Hong Kong has always been the super connector and super value adder. We are the bridge between the mainland and overseas countries. Invest Hong Kong has been trying to bring overseas businesses to Hong Kong. Those businesses can go to the mainland cities via Hong Kong. Invest Hong Kong also works closely with our overseas economic and trade offices. We want to bring overseas firms that take an interest in Hong Kong. We want to bring them in so that they can tap into the mainland market. And the Economic and Trade Express will also cover the work. Our country is still in talks with the US about the tariffs. We are affected by the tariffs. So we will tap the market of other economies. The chief executives led delegations to the Middle East twice. They covered 4 countries in the Middle East, and then there was also a visit to ASEAN countries. We signed many memoranda of understanding during these visits, and we're gradually implementing the MOUs. The Belt and Road Office is also helping our countries go to countries tap into countries such as Kazakhstan and Hungary. That helps our local firms tap into new markets. So we're looking not just at ASEAN and the Middle East, we're also looking at Central Asia and Latin America. We signed a free trade agreement with Peru. That's just the first step. And then we also have investment protection agreements. That's to offer greater security to businesses going global. We will step up to the work. The Belt and Road Office will organize more delegations to Belt and Road countries in the future. Thank you. Mr. Martin Liao. Thank you, Chair. The policy address proposes application scenarios for businesses, and that will be our new approach, application-based or scenario-based approach in attracting investments. So we're shifting from short-term concessions to long-term value as a way to draw businesses. I want to find out more about this approach. From what I know, Guangdong Province and other mainland cities set out a list of application scenarios to draw new technologies, products, and modes of operation. And this will foster the development of those industry chains. The policy address also proposes develop application scenarios about the AI and the low-altitude economy, but the information is fragmented. So based on our industry needs and the industry chains in the GBA, will we set out our own list of application scenarios? What will be the requirements? What are our goals? So that we can bring in those industries and then we can create this industry chain. If there are such plans, can the government share some details on this? My next question has to do with the government strategy on working with industries in identifying those promising application scenarios. So these questions have to do with both Mr. Algernon Yao and Professor Sun Dong. So, Professor Sun, please. Thank you, Chairman. I thank Mr. Martin Liao for his insightful questions. On the first question, whether we need a list of application scenarios, I think that's a great idea. This requires collaboration between industries and the government. Mainland firms do well because industries in the mainland create those application scenarios. Tencent came up with WeChat and came up with e-payment. That's where the application scenario is. We want to work with the industry on our side. We need enhancements on so many fronts, such as digitalization and the use of artificial intelligence. We need industries to work with us. For us, on the policy side, we can give support in different forms. Should the government propose such a list? That's a great question. We need to talk about this after the meeting. We can explore whether we can propose such a list. Mr. Liao asked a great question. His second question has to do with strategies for different industries to develop. To move faster in Hong Kong, we have to bring in outside industries. Of course, we want local startups, but their development will take time. Now, on bringing in enterprises, they want application scenarios, and then they use Hong Kong's experience as a model and expand or extend the experience to different markets. For example, we have introduced autonomous driving using our airport. And then the orders came in from airports elsewhere. And yesterday, Brinko also arrived at Hong Kong. Brinko wants to bring their product overseas. They wonder if they can first use the product in Hong Kong before going overseas. So what matters even more is that we provide application scenarios. When the chief executive visited the 6 Little Dragons in Hangzhou, those tech firms mentioned scenarios, application scenarios as the priority. So they want to be able to see their products applied on land and scenarios. This will require collaboration between different departments. For example, in the Northern Metropolis, we have different land parcels. We have land parcels in the Loop and in the Sandton Technopole. Some land will be for AI, others will be health and life technology. We can have land dedicated to a certain purpose, and then we can try to bring in industries for those specific land parcels. I believe Mr. Martin Liao's questions are only a beginning. So let's stay in touch and we can work together on this. Dr. Tan Yuan. Thank you, Chairman. My first question goes to the CEDB. My second question will go to the ITIB. Consumption has suffered recently. SMEs are struggling. That's why the policy address proposes stronger support for SMEs. I support the extension of the 80% guaranteed product under the SFGS for 2 years and also the extension of the principal moratorium for another year. Different support schemes work in different circumstances. We recovered quickly after financial crises. Those schemes worked. But now, consumption patterns have shifted. Given these conditions, these support schemes no longer work as well as they did in previous financial crises. So, the question is, how do we use these financing schemes to help businesses adapt to changes in consumer demand? Can the government talk to trade associations about this? That's my first question. My second question, which is for the ITIB, is that we want advanced manufacturing, microelectronics, AI. We want these as our emerging industries. These industries have become a buzzword in different places. Every place wants these industries. Can we select particular subspecialties with our own characteristics? Can we focus on those subspecialties so that we can distinguish ourselves and then offer support in resources and support talent? Mr. Algernon Yao. COVID is now behind us. Normal life is back. During those COVID years, there were different schemes to support SMEs. Business environment has improved. Since COVID ended, we're now back in the top 3 financial centers. So the trend has been positive. Dr. Tan brought up SME struggling. I believe he is referring to the retail sector, and that has to do with the shift in consumption patterns. That is why the policy address this year proposes a 2-year extension to the 80% guaranteed product under the SFGS, and we're also beefing up the Bud Fund. This will help SMEs transform themselves. We also have a support scheme for e-commerce. That's because e-commerce is now part of a broader trend. The business volume of e-commerce is huge across the world. So there will be one-on-one business matching, and we also have this business mentorship program. There will also be training on e-commerce. Last year and this year, we held the Hong Kong Shopping Festivals. More than 200 firms took part. More than 500 products proved popular. And we will keep organizing the Hong Kong Shopping Festivals in the mainland and in Southeast Asia. We want our local SMEs to distinguish themselves with e-commerce. So we will connect businesses with partners. We will help in whatever way we can when they want to transform themselves or go global.
Professor Priscilla Lang. Sorry. Would Professor Sun please address the second question? I will be more lenient with the time management because there are three bureaus here. I believe that many members want to ask questions. Regarding Dr. Tan's second question, the fields that he mentioned are the development directions of many places. So we must keep up with the international trend. But you are correct. We have to focus on industries that are suitable for Hong Kong. We have conducted many studies. Take microelectronics as an example. It covers many different areas. This industry is sensitive. We have to look at the feasibility of their technology. We have to look at our own capacity and strength as well as our markets. After considering a wide array of factors, we've chosen the third generation semiconductors as our focus. In the process of selection, the SAR government has looked into many different factors. We are establishing a Life and Health Research and Development Institute, and we decided on a 1+3 operation model. The government will take the lead to focus on AI and life and health technology. This is a trend, and it's not an option for us. We must develop it. Regarding the 3 in the 1+3, they are the three tertiary institutions. We have to work on, say, geotechnology, satellite institutes. We've looked into the development directions of tertiary institutions before we select the three of them. We also, at the same time, have to look at if we should focus on 2 to 3 different areas. Sometimes we also have to depend on luck. Take the Shanghai INT Park as an example. There is a European life and health technology that set up the presence there. That's why they chose to focus on that particular field. So we have to look at the market along with wide areas of factors. I hope that we can create our own signature industry. Thank you, Professor Priscilla Lang. Thank you, Chairman. I know that we are in a difficult time given our trade landscape. I do recognize the efforts of the government. I have some questions regarding the CEDB. Hong Kong is a staunch supporter of the World Trade Organization. Our country showed its greatest commitment. They are no longer seeking preferential treatment as a developing country. Given this landscape, Hong Kong has to stand alongside our country. We commit ourselves to a low-tax regime and a multilateralism in trade. Over the past 2 years, I attended some meetings of the WTO, and very recently I went to some European countries and talked to members of their congresses. Not many people know that we adopt a low-tax regime. And I'm talking about congressmen, not just regular people of the public. So I know that you have this Go Global task force. At Abu Dhabi, I found out that many senior and experienced congressmen were not aware of the one country, two systems that we adopt. So I think that we have to promote it tirelessly. Given the intense and adverse trade landscape, I think that we are very attractive, especially for Europe. There are wars going on, the Russian-Ukraine war. They are suffering from the trade war as well. So I think that we have many opportunities to offer to them. So I wonder how we can further promote our advantage. Second, you talked about RCEP in paragraph 16 of your paper. You said that you are still convincing RCEP members to let us in. Well, we attended a meeting of the RCEP last month. I wonder what difficulties is the government facing, so that we can help address the issues. I wonder which country is trying to prevent Hong Kong from joining. Thank you. I think your questions are clear enough. Secretary Yao, please. I thank Professor Lam for her questions. Hong Kong is a free economy. We are a founding member of the WTO. We are a separate customs territory. And this is a position conferred upon us by the Basic Law. We don't charge any tariffs except for a few types of goods. Under APEC, we are an individual member. Under Hong Kong, China, I also attended a meeting of the ASEP, and we are a founding member of WTO, and the Fraser Institute accorded us with the highest ranking in terms of the most competitive economy. So under the Trade and Economic Express, the Trade Development Council and the Invest Hong Kong will continue to promote our advantage. This is what we mean by telling good stories of Hong Kong. We need to leverage on community forces, and we also need the efforts from different government bureaus and departments. As soon as the RCEP was established, we applied to join. But I attended a ASEAN meeting under the name of Hong Kong, China, and I received news seeing that they just finished discussing the terms of reference, and it's just been passed by the accession working group at the RCEP ministerial meeting last month. I went to APEC and ASEAN meetings, and as soon as I saw RCEP representatives, I tried to convince them to let us in. They said that they are willing to do so, but there's still process to go through. Hopefully, after the terms of reference been passed, Hong Kong will be able to join RCEP very soon. On the community level, we welcome any organizations leveraging on their influence. Thank you. Mr. Robert Lee, thank you. This meeting covers the work of 3 different bureaus. The business sector is trying to explore new markets, and we want to seize new growth opportunities. Over the past few years, the government led many delegations to the Middle East, the ASEAN, Global South. These visits are great opportunities for local enterprises to seek opportunities, and this is also a great way for us to promote our advantages. However, different sectors and enterprises may be at different stages of development. The chief executive said that not everyone can join the delegation visit, and they choose the representatives very cautiously. So can you tell us how you select the members of the delegation? And how can we make sure that different sectors and companies of different scales and background will be able to join the delegations to other countries? Some enterprises may be of smaller scale. They may be rather representative, and they may already have business in some countries. Will they be able to join your delegation? Secretary Yao, thank you. The Global Task Force will look into the demand of the places, and we will talk to the local Chamber of Commerce in selecting countries and representatives to go on these delegation visits. As I mentioned, we have 68 offices covering 129 countries. The ETOs and the Invest Hong Kong are tasked with responsibilities to look into what kind of investment and talents they need. This is how we identify enterprises to go on these visits. The Belt and Road Office also lead delegation visits to other countries. They bring along many representatives from the local business sector. We match the demand of the destination with the local enterprises. Thank you. Mr. Shang Hailong. Thank you, Chairman. I see many elements of commerce, INT, and land resources in this year's policy address. I support integrating into the national development. Secretary Yao has talked about the Global Task Force many times in this meeting. I think that this is how we can give full play to our role as a super connector. There may be tens of millions of enterprises on the mainland. So it's difficult for us to identify the right enterprises. I wonder what economic benefits will be brought about to Hong Kong by helping these mainland enterprises go global. Invest Hong Kong announced that they help 1,300 enterprises set up their presence in Hong Kong over the past 3 years. They are confident that in the coming 2 years they will be introducing 1,200 more enterprises to Hong Kong. I hope that this will help for commercial buildings and offices. I asked Ms. Alva Lau about the vacancy rate of offices. The rent of those in Admiralty and Central is already very low, but still they're vacant. I wonder how the CEDB will boost rentals level of local offices with 1,200 more enterprises coming in the coming 2 years. I have a suggestion for Mr. Zhang. Because CEDB works very closely with mainland authorities, they have signed a number of agreements with Guangdong and Eastern China on talents exchange. So I wonder how we can draw for talents together with other mainland cities to consolidate our role as a talent hub. Thank you.
Mr. Algernon Yao, on property rents and subsidies. Thank you. Invest Hong Kong brought in 1,345 firms to Hong Kong. Those firms covered not just mainland firms, but also overseas businesses. 1,400 Japanese firms, 1,300 US firms, and 1,600 EU firms. Altogether, that meant $175 billion in economic benefits, 19,000 jobs. That's for 3 years. Our new target for Invest Hong Kong is to bring in 1,200 firms in 2 years' time. We want them to hire 12,000 people. Our goal is to generate $120 billion in economic benefits. Now, for mainland firms trying to go global via Hong Kong, they have to register their companies in Hong Kong, and that will bring jobs and demand for commercial property. That is for the market. It depends on the scale of operation of each company. So it's hard for a government to have policies to drive development on that front. Mr. Eric Zhang. Now, in Macau, an official became a legislative member or legislative assembly member in that city. Thank you. I thank Mr. Jesse Shang for his suggestion. Now, on the Greater Bay Area, we have done much in promoting business opportunities. We have been working with the Guangdong government in going overseas. Last year, we visited San Francisco and Paris. In 2023, we went to Munich. Earlier this year, I joined my colleagues from Macau and Guangdong on a visit to Hungary and Egypt. We told the people there about the GBA opportunities. We have our respective strengths and business opportunities. So we told people overseas about our respective opportunities. Our greatest strength is, as Mr. Jesse Shang said, is Hong Kong's status as a talent hub of high caliber talent. We stress our first-rate professional services and financial services. So we have been telling people about our edge on this front. And we have also invited local businesses to join us on our visits to find out about those overseas markets, and we will keep doing that in the future. We agree with Mr. Shang on his suggestion. We will fully showcase Hong Kong's strength as a hub of top caliber talent. Dr. Wendy Hong. A few questions. First, on the new industrialization acceleration scheme. This scheme was launched last September. One project was approved, and the funding is $190 million. The matching ratio is 1 to 2. So altogether, this project will be $570 million. Can we have more details about this? The policy address proposes a lower threshold for a project under this scheme. So the threshold will go down from $300 to $150 million. That means more companies will be able to qualify for funding under this scheme. Even with this lower threshold, this scheme is only for larger projects. There's another scheme called New Industrialization Subsidy Scheme. The subsidy will cover a third of the expenses, up to $50 million. So for projects up to $45 million, the company will get a third of the subsidy covering a third of the cost. But for projects that cost somewhere between $45 million and $505 billion, those companies won't get the full benefit. Can we adjust the cap of projects that qualify for those subsidy schemes so that all kinds of projects can benefit from those schemes? Now, for the loop, we will adopt a model where the moving in happens in tandem with the construction so that we can provide workspace for businesses. Firms don't have to wait for the completion of the entire park area before they move in. I support that, but there are just only 3 buildings now, and by 2027 there will be just 5 buildings in the loop. It will take quite a while before Centene can provide more buildings and more space. So in the meantime, can we buy idle properties in urban areas, or can we use idle government premises for businesses to move in? Idle premises in urban centers can meet the pressing needs, and these premises are in favorable locations. Now, on going global, we rarely provided tailor-made support in the past. The policy address this year proposes a Go Global task force. There will be tailor-made support for businesses. I support the direction. Businesses will need support from many kinds of policies to go global. They may need technical support, they may need capital support, they may also need land. Much of that falls outside the purview of the CEDB. Other bureaus and departments are also involved. Can the CEDB and Invest Hong Kong coordinate across so many policy areas to provide customized support for businesses? Secretary, you have 20 seconds to answer 3 questions. Some questions fall within your purview. Now, for the new industrialization acceleration scheme, that part can be addressed by Professor Sun. So I'll be brief. Our Go Global Task Force will involve different bureaus and departments. We provide solutions based on the needs of businesses. Professor Sun Dong. Now, for the new industrialization acceleration scheme, the threshold will be lowered because we want to cover more businesses under this scheme. Now, on the new industrialization subsidy scheme, we subsidize up to $45 million at the ratio of 1 to 2. And that means that project can be up to $135 million. Indeed, there's a gap between $135 million and $300 million. But now we are proposing to lower the threshold of the NIAS to $150 million. So we're not saying the minimum investment is $45 million. It's that the subsidy will be up to $45 million subsidy from the government. Now on the loop on Hetao, where we allow businesses to move in while the construction is still underway, that's to meet the pressing needs of businesses. We have 3 buildings that are completed, and we are working in overdrive to complete the other 5 buildings. I challenge anyone to name another project that has made such rapid progress in recent years. We're trying to think of other ways to meet pressing needs. We used to have to wait for the entire area to be ready before the move-in could happen. But now we allow a business to come in as long as it's safe to do so. When a promising company comes in and they want a short to medium term lease, we let them in. We meet business needs as much as we can. On whether we can use other premises, such as renting other premises, this will cover not just the loop. For INT development as a whole, we can consider adopting this approach, but we will need support from other bureaus because we don't have control over those premises. Many businesses want to go to the loop. That's because we have special policies for the loop. We can keep discussing the matter in the future. Thank you. Mr. Ambrose Lam. We now have 3 secretaries of development and 15 directors of bureaus. Each has their own responsibilities. Top of mind for many members is this Go Global Task Force. For the first time since 1842, the chief executive asked the Secretary for Justice to promote legal services as we help mainland businesses go global. So let's also bear in mind, let's remember the DOJ. Let's also bear in mind the role of lawyers in this process, Secretary for Commerce and Economic Development. I thank Mr. Ambrose Lam for his question. Our task force covers professional services. We will work closely with our colleagues at the DOJ. Will there be special measures, concessions for the legal professional bodies? The government only turns to the DOJ for legal advice. Of course, I've been calling for outsourcing of services. I've been calling for the outsourcing of legal advice. The government has been very cautious in doing this. Businesses said lawyers in private practice charge very high fees. Mr. Peter Xu. The government encourages INT. The chief executive also stresses going global on top of bringing in businesses and investment. I want to tell everyone a story. Early this year, a tech firm in Hong Kong has a way of producing whiskey right away, equivalent to whiskey of 15 years of vintage. This company can even create whiskey that is like 30-year-old whiskey. This firm had an office in the Science Park, but they ran into a problem. legal provisions in Hong Kong prevented this company from using the term whiskey in their product. So we talked to the Customs and Excise Department. There was some back and forth. We tried to stay within the framework to make things possible for that firm, and things worked out. I highlighted this case. I was willing to help this company because when Singapore heard about our company, Singapore tried to get this company to go to Singapore, but that company decided to stay here because they wanted their product to be Hong Kong's brand. Now this product has succeeded. It's very popular, it's made in Hong Kong, and it's exported to overseas markets. I asked them whether they got a patent. They said they didn't need it because only they could create this product. The stories shows us that if we can invest in I&T, we have the people who can do it, and with government support we can make things happen, and that can bring enormous returns in the future. So please, the ITIB, can we work together and help these brands go global? Now I turn to the convention and exhibitions industry. We had COVID, so there were many subsidies for the CNE industries. Now those support schemes will be extended. Of course, we cannot keep extending the support indefinitely. The people in the CNE industry told me that our subsidies are available. So Thailand and Singapore are trying to take a page out of our playbook. But let's keep an eye on this situation. If other places offer subsidies and we end our subsidies, we will end up losing exhibitors. The application closed for some subsidies in March this year. The subsidies used to come with a 1-to-1 matching ratio. This year, the subsidy covers only 25% of the cost. The deadline was back in mid-March. Can you come to your question? I will get to my question quickly. The problem is this. Those applicants put in the application the year before on the basis of the 1-to-1 subsidy ratio. But those applicants were waiting for other documents from other parties. Can you put in your question in writing? You have exceeded your time limit. I don't need an answer right away. I just want to highlight the issue. Those applicants were let down. Those people simply failed at the hurdle due to missing documents. So a brief reply would do. Mr. Elton Yao.
Thank you. We keep a close eye on the initiatives and measures rolled out by other places. We'll keep a close communication with the trade. Regarding your question on the application, I will talk to you after the meeting. Thank you. Thank you, Secretary. I'll draw the line here. Last ones to speak will be Mr. William Wong. Thank you, Chairman. My first question is for the CEDB. Paragraph 40 of the paper says that we're going to promote IP financing and trading, and there will be a pilot scheme on patent evaluation. I wonder if we have experts on patent evaluation. Evaluation is just one of the areas. under intellectual property, do we have any pilot services on IP strategies? My second question for ITIB. Well, paragraph 23 of the paper says that the ITIB will organize major international conferences and events to deepen international collaboration. So I wonder if the administration will learn from Singapore by setting aside some funding to support R&D institutions and universities to organize large-scale academic and research meetings. I'm sure that the Secretary knows that 3 to 4 years' time will be needed to organize this type of conferences and meetings. So I wonder if the administration will be accepting such applications. My third point, which is a suggestion on AI plus tourism. The Secretary talked much about G2C, on how we can attract more visitors to Hong Kong. Mr. Yu Pak Leung cares about G2B, on how we can offer more services. Of course, we can provide more tools to the sector, but the problem lies with whether there is any use cases for such tools. So I think that we should open up more tourism data. Say, for example, the length of stay of inbound visitors, when they arrive in Hong Kong, so on and so forth. Thank you. Secretary Yao. Thank you, Mr. Wong, for the question. I'd like to ask Mr. Wong to take the question. Director of Intellectual Property. Thank you. We are working with DISC, and they offer IP patent evaluation services based on national standards from the perspective of economics, legal perspectives, so on and so forth. So we work with Hong Kong DISC to offer such services. Regarding the pilot scheme on IP or patent evaluation, well, I've talked to Hong Kong ICPA and the Hong Kong Institute of Surveyors and Hong Kong AFRC. They said that there is experts that can provide such service. They may make leverage on different methodology to evaluate the patent. If they thank you. The speaker's mic is off. Your second question on dedicated fund for international conferences. Under ITIB, we subsidize a number of international conferences to be held in Hong Kong. Some of the more famous examples are the Information Technology Awards. Hong Kong has become a permanent partner of the award. We'll bring in more of such events and awards. The SAR government fully supports the organization of major conferences and awards. 3 universities said that they want to organize World Stem Cell conferences in Hong Kong, and we fully support it, and we wrote a letter of reference for them. We provided a financial subsidy for them. You also talked about AI plus tourism. I think that I've replied to the points you raised when I answered Mr. Yu's question. Regarding your question on data, we have opened up 5,600 data sets. The Commissioner for Digital Policy is here. I wonder if tourism elements or tourism-related data have been opened up. If not, we will try to open it up. Thank you. I have a question, and I will see if the three secretaries have anything to add. I think that this year's policy address is a very pragmatic and down-to-earth one. Things have been more encouraging in these 2 years. We talked about attracting enterprises and investment. But it seems that this year we see our initiatives bearing fruits. Many mainland enterprises have actually set up their presence in Hong Kong. They have moved in. Now they've come. How can we promote the technology that they've brought in? Of course, we have to work on attracting enterprises to come. The reason why they come is that our society is stable, we have a robust fiscal position, our economy is prospering, so on and so forth. The financial secretary said that we are going to achieve a fiscal balance next year. We're all looking forward to it. Against such background, we hope that enterprises who come will earn more and pay more taxes to the Treasury. So my question is this. Perhaps we shouldn't compare ourselves to others too often, but that's only inevitable. Investors often compare the preferential treatments that they get from other places, say for example Singapore, with ours. We have our own unique advantages. We have the support of our country. We have so many subsidy schemes for I&T. These don't exist in other places. We are cutting some of our funding. There's been complaints from some enterprises. We want companies to come. They have to spend money on, say, purchasing land. They have nothing left for other facilities. We have this new industrialization acceleration scheme. What we want to see is to have new industries take root here. So I think that we have to change our mindset and improve our policies. Mr. Shang Hailong just talked about office rentals. Enterprises, some landlords want to charge $100 per square meter. That's unrealistic. So I'd like to hear from the secretaries on attracting enterprises, investment, I&T. Well, I have to congratulate the Secretary for Innovation Technology for bringing in so many enterprises. With more companies taking root in Hong Kong, we will create more jobs, more business. Mr. Tommy Chang always complains about the lack of patrons to Chinese restaurants, but he's not here today. As long as we can attract more enterprises and investment, then many different sectors will prosper. The CNED has also put in a lot of efforts to improve our economy. I know that they have worked on streamlining the procedures for importation of parts and materials. I also thank Mr. Zhang for introducing mainland enterprises and talents to Hong Kong. I truly hope that the government will be more forward-looking as they attract talents, enterprises, and technology. We may not be able to see instant results with our initiatives, but in 3 to 5 years' time, we may see more results reflected in the tax revenue. That's just a comment. Thank you.
I'll be the first one to give a reply. Hong Kong has an edge in attracting investment and enterprises. We have a robust legal system. Capital flow freely. We have a very low tax rate. Many overseas businesses find our tax rate low. We have the Greater Bay Area. It's 86 million people with a huge GDP. When an outside company registers here, they get the SEPA benefit, and we also offer professional services. So this is a major appeal. Fraser Institute gave us a favorable rating. We come first in Asia and fourth globally in talent. These factors give outside investors confidence in doing business here. Invest Hong Kong exceeded its target in such a short time because of so much outside confidence in Hong Kong. Of course, we have to keep telling good stories of Hong Kong. The policy address also proposed a package of preferential policies. This is under the coordination of the Financial Secretary. Many policy bureaus will take part. When a key business comes to Hong Kong, we offer customized policies. So we are a few steps ahead. We keep bringing in enterprises. When key enterprises have special needs, we offer customized support. So this package of preferential measures is about targeted support, and it's very competitive. Professor Sun, many investors want to know, how we can give investors better support with the science park, with the industrial estate. Some investors and businesses are deterred by the requirements. I want to first give a response to a point made by Mr. Peter Shiu, because that point has to do with the point from Mr. Jeffrey Lam. I want to thank Mr. Peter Shiu for sharing that story. I'm pleased to learn about that story. So a tech startup came to Hong Kong with the government support, came up with a product made in Hong Kong, and this product is now exported to other markets, but that business decided to stay in Hong Kong. It's sticking with Hong Kong. And that brings me to my next point. We want to bring in enterprises, and we want mainland businesses to go global via Hong Kong. The question is, why Hong Kong? We want things to be made in Hong Kong. We need products that stand for Hong Kong. And then we can provide services. If someone simply comes to us and sells things elsewhere like a passerby, then that's no good. Talking about getting firms to go global via Hong Kong is simple, but action is harder. It takes time to create a local brand. we have to leverage our traditional strength. We also need new policies to give support. And that's the hard part. How do we get new policies to support our traditional strengths? For the ITIB, with the support of electrical over the recent years, we launched quite a number of schemes. Those schemes apply to local businesses and those from the mainland or overseas. So we encourage firms to apply for schemes, including the new industrialization acceleration scheme. Local firms may struggle with investments costing hundreds of millions of dollars. So outside firms can also take advantage of our NIAS. With electrical support, we also secured the funding for our I&T-oriented fund to be launched next year. That will be $100 million. We want to channel $100 billion in outside investment so that we can create this ecosystem of I&T. We need local tech firms and also outside tech firms. We want outside firms to come here so that we can create a vibrant I&T ecosystem. That's what all our schemes are leading to. And then we will also have the I&T accelerator scheme. We need an accelerator because we need a new base. We want to bring promising businesses from the mainland and overseas to come here. They struggle to tell where to go next. That's why we need an accelerator that brings together those firms. Those firms can develop here and then they go global. All our schemes have to do with bringing in firms that go global in the end. Going global is also an incentive for firms to come to Hong Kong. All measures under the ITIB are about helping businesses come here, build up their strength, and go global. Thank you. Now, Mr. Eric Zhang, anything to add from you? I agree with you. Hong Kong's future development hinges on bringing in excellent enterprises, and that would foster Hong Kong's long-term growth. We have talked about our strengths and preferential policies. Of course, a package of preferential policies can make a difference, but we also have our own edge. We have a vibe, we have a favorable business environment, we have a society that values the rule of law, we have a stable society, a safe community. That's our greatest asset. We have to consolidate and further enhance our strengths. With our concerted effort under the current term government on all fronts, we are in a leading spot on many leaderboards. We have our conventional strengths. To maintain our edge, we have to keep enhancing ourselves. We have to keep moving ahead. As we keep our conventional strength, we have to develop new edge to move with the times. The chief executive has taken into account the present and Hong Kong's future in preparing this policy address, and he keeps working on all this. I hope the community can join forces with us as we implement everything in the policy address to foster Hong Kong's long-term development. We thank the officials joining us and everyone else who attended the meeting today. Now, any other business? Our next regular meeting will be held on the 14th of October. That's Tuesday. That meeting will be held between 4:45 and 5:45 p.m. The administration proposed discussing Hong Kong's participation in the Belt and Road Initiative. Any other questions? If not, I adjourn the meeting here. Thank you.